Hey there, nerds. We're back. Welcome to Alpha 26. I didn't give the show a title. I was thinking of one and just never came up with it. I think our
Hey,
last show
it's all right,
was
buddy.
I think our last show was just because family.
Mm-hmm.
That was just because family. I'm joined here by my lovely co-host, Seth, the Scarlet Speedster Slykehouse. How we doing, buddy?
I am. I'm doing well, man. I'm doing pretty well. I just got off playing Final Fantasy 16,
You motherfucker.
so yep, I've been having a blast.
Yes. Now, I will point out, you shared something in our secret group chat that had me almost in tears, and I'm sad that you and our buddy Watson did not continue these out of context wrestling promos. And I feel like they need to come
Watson
back.
Watson never responded. He
Yeah,
he. I called him out and he never responded. So
yes.
I don't
That
know.
that
What
was
do you do with that?
comedic gold. I was sitting there watching you trying not to laugh while cutting this promo. And it was I was like, this is awesome. Like, why didn't we literally think of this another time, because like this would have been gold. Like I was
I
like in
shot
fucking
that.
tears.
I shot that on the fly too. Like
Yeah, it was
I didn't
completely off the
even.
cuff. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Um, so for the context for people listening, I got a championship belt and some massive like Stingray sunglasses, and I cut a promo on one of our buddies Watson because I was like I used to share a ton of memes on Facebook like all day long. That was like pretty much all I
Meme king.
did. Yeah, and then he started jumping in and sharing memes, and I was like, oh no, this is my territory. You don't share memes in my territory. So I cut a promo, and then but you'd be surprised at the amount of people who thought it was like a serious beef. Like they didn't get it.
Well, that makes it even funnier, because if it was a serious beef, right? Why in God's name would you be holding a title belt with sunglasses on? Like, if that was like a serious response to, like, like challenging him to a fight, that would have been like the most alpha fucking thing you could ever do and be serious. But yeah, no, if anyone if anyone thought that was completely serious, that is completely ridiculous. But I think it is awesome. Watson, we
Yeah,
need a response. It's time.
yeah. He never made a response. I think the only thing he said was
He can't. He's
scared
incapable.
question mark or something like that. Yeah,
I think he's incapable of doing that. I don't think Watson has the comedic chops, if you will, to accomplish such a task. So that was wildly entertaining. Just wanted to throw that out there. We just recently were together. What, like last weekend? Yeah, last weekend
yep,
on
yep,
Saturday. Yeah, delivered you your beautiful CRT.
yeah. It is beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the first thing you're gonna play on it?
I don't know. I was on Frameskip last night, and George was talking about playing Xenogears this summer. So I might,
Ooh,
I might
I might
jump
be
in
in
there
on
with
that.
Xenogears on that. Yeah.
I think I'll jump in as
Oh, you
well.
you you want to have a fatal three way? Is that was that what it's called?
Yeah, no, a triple
Uh,
threat match. Fatal four way is
a
where it's
triple
4
threat. Yeah. Okay.
I'm in. And anything I can do to, beat George at things, like, I'm in. Because I exist to just troll him. We gotta have
Yeah.
him on the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
You gotta come to my domain, buddy. You gotta step into
Yeah.
the Thunderdome.
So George is trying to do like a summer of RPG thing where he's trying to play a bunch of classic RPGs, and
That's a great
yeah, I
idea.
think
Fuck the
I think
Celtics.
Xenogears is gonna be one of them he plays 'cause he's really excited for it. And I told him, I said Xenogears was like instrumental in changing how I view the universe. So
It's fucking blew your mind.
yeah, no,
Um,
it really did. That story resonated with me so much that like I'm like, wow, this is insane. I can't spoil it because you whatever you think is coming in Xenogears, it's you don't see it coming.
I've
You know,
managed to avoid spoilers of that game my entire life. Like, I've
that's because
watched.
no one's played it.
Well, I even anytime it like comes up in a video, like, oh, no, 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 can't talk about it. Like, I don't know anything about the game. I've played maybe an hour of it because I think I own it somewhere. It's in my collection somewhere. Um, and I really always want to play it, and I just never made the time for it. But if there's gonna be a challenge, your boy's in. I love dominating RPGs, so I'm
There
in.
is Xenogears is famous for having like this massive perfect works book that expands the lore. because after you beat Xenogears, there's a mind blow moment where it's like a Star Wars thing where it's like episode 4 finished, and it's like, what? Right?
You're like, oh,
So
hold on.
yeah. So they were the idea behind Xenogears was that they were going to make a bunch more games,
They just never
and
did.
they Square wasn't interested because I don't think it sold very well. It came out right around the same time as Final Fantasy VII, I think, and Final Fantasy VII just dominated the RPG space. So I know a whole bunch of interesting facts about that game. Like,
One could call you a historian.
yeah, I mean, because I read the Perfect Works, and the lore in Xenogears is out of control. Like, I mean, we're talking. If you read the Perfect Works book, now a translated version is very hard to get. I have managed to keep it on my hard drive for over a decade now, ever since I did my Xenogears review on YouTube. But if you read the Perfect Works, it's like insane the amount of lore that is behind this single video game, because they had written out all 6 chapters of it,
Oh wow.
and they never built them. So when they made Xenosaga, which wasn't by Square, it was under Bandai Namco.
Correct.
When they made Xenosaga is a recreation of the first 3 episodes of Xenogears. So there's almost all the themes from Xenogears carry over into Xenosaga. So Xenosaga, and it's not direct. There is some differences, but Xenosaga's story elements and themes definitely mimic Xenogears chapters 1 through 3. But that's as far as it goes. Xenoblade doesn't have anything to do with the Xenogears mythos at all.
So I think, yeah, I think I'm definitely in if we're playing these Xeno games. That's crazy about the Perfect Works. Though. I want to see if I can find a translated version. Then see if I can sleuth one out.
I would believe that you're not going to
someone's
be able
gonna.
to find one. I think I'm the only person I know that has a digital version of, because it was never officially translated. This is
Right,
like
it was probably a fan translation.
yeah. So I have to find it. I'm looking at my library right now. I don't know where
You know what's
I'm
weird?
right
Like with
now.
all the AIs and all this other shit that we're creating, wild stuff. Why haven't we just been translating things? Like, what are we doing?
It's gonna happen.
What
The
are we
AI
doing?
thing, dude, is like
Freaks me the
horrifying.
fuck out, dude. I
I
can't.
don't know why we can't just not do
Not.
this,
Yeah, they
right?
were just not. Yeah.
But they're not, like, they can see how this is gonna like be disastrous for the world, and they're like, we're
Yes.
just gonna do it anyway. No
It's
one's
gonna
gonna
ruin the
stop us.
workforce.
Yeah. Not only that, like it's not even going for like the nonsense jobs. Like, they're going straight for artistry and like
Yeah, like just
these.
any job that takes individuality, like gone. See ya.
Yeah,
So
it's
that,
insane,
I
dude.
think
It's
that's a
absolutely
little wild.
insane.
Yeah. So
And then there was an article recently about a video game that used AI for like NPC talk, and they canceled it because they said it was like lifeless and
yeah,
soulless. And it's like,
you can't do that. It has to have some sort of fucking soul, man. So we dropped off your CRT, spent a little time, shot the shit. My weekend was consistent of finally rescuing my shit from my ex's house, thank fucking God. And we had a
proud of
couple
you.
casualties. But
It's rough.
that fucking that Trails box was busted. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the collector's edition, was a casualty.
Oh no,
Yeah, that box is fucked.
that's rough.
Yeah, there's like basically anything boxed had dents and and this is before I even packed it. So I'm just like, that's fucking awesome. So
How did it get beat up?
there.
Did she just like throw it in a corner?
Yeah, just like, not like it was on purpose. Like, it's not, like, I doubt they were like, had the wherewithal to be like, oh, let's fuck the, you know what I mean? But I just think it was just in a fuck off box. I'm like, come on. But I funny story about this, and at this point I don't necessarily care who sees it. But I cut the streaming services. Like, and I got this text like flipping out, like, why would you do that? You said you wouldn't do that. I'm like, why would I still pay for this?
Yeah.
What? So anyway, so there's that story. But um, it was good to see the boys. I saw the Flash movie, which we will get into a little bit later in the show, because I
Okay.
have some fucking opinions, and I mean we're not going to spoil it, but I did come to a realization that my boy just might not be that popular. I'm going to be honest with you, like.
You're just coming to that realization now.
Yeah. Well, because business was booming. We were on the CW. We were killing it for a little bit. Like everywhere I went, I saw Flash merch. Like it's very rare you go to a comic book store, comic book anything, or anything remotely nerdy and don't see something Flash. So it's just like it's not that
Right.
he's
I
not.
mean,
It's
that's fair.
it's not that he's not popular, but like I feel like I'm gonna be honest, the Flash mythos, a little fucked up. And realize when I realized this was I was reading Flash War because I started reading comics. I'm like, you know what? Let me start like actually reading comics instead of like just kind of having comic story and speak it to me. So like, I'm reading Flash War, and apparently at some point or another, there's too many Flashes. Let's put that out there. Too many.
100%.
Yeah, we have Barry Allen, who ran out of the Speed Force at some point, even though he died in Crisis on Infinite Earth. Then we have Wally West, and then we have New 52 Wally, which I don't understand how that's a thing. And then there's too many speedsters, too many fucking speedsters. We need less speedsters. Let's put it out this way.
So, yeah.
Because allegedly Wally West is faster than Barry Allen, which I don't quite understand how that makes sense. Because
it doesn't.
Barry Allen is the Speed Force. Like he literally created the Speed Force. How is he faster than him?
But you gotta stop applying logic to comic books. They don't care. They don't care about consistency. Sense. They don't care about the characters. These Raiders are terrible. But what I will say is, you were talking about how popular he is and how he got like a CW show and whatnot. But just remember this: he was the second choice after Green Arrow.
Correct.
He was. So, that you don't really see Green Arrow merch everywhere.
No, you don't see Green Arrow merch anywhere, to be honest with you.
That's right. So, yeah, he wasn't their first choice. They created the Flash after they already had Green Arrow. They're like, who else can we throw in there? I guess we'll throw Flash.
You know what's weird, though? I thought, like, all the main Justice League guys were untouchable for, like, TV shows. They've done it to the Flash twice.
Yeah.
Twice.
So, yeah. I don't know. I think it's sort of like, hey, we got like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and and the other guys.
Yeah, the other guys. But then they use this motherfucker every time, and he says it during the movie. He's like, anytime there's a mess, I have to clean this up. That's literally why I feel like why the Flash is literally there.
Yeah.
They're like, oh shit, we wrote ourselves in a corner. Flashpoint. Like you can't just do that. You cannot do that anymore. And back to Flash War, my issue is Flash War is literally Flashpoint, just with Wally West. He's like, oh, I'm gonna go back in time and save my kids so they remember me. And Barry's like, no, you can't do that. And then like when both Professor Zoom and Wally make the same point, they're like, well, you did it. and he's like, yeah, but that's me. You can't do that. I'm just like, fucking god damn it. So that's something, like I said, we'll get into the Flash movie here in a bit. But what have you been playing, my
guy? So I don't know if I told you this last episode, but I was trying to get into Warhammer.
Yeah, I saw that.
Into Warhammer, and I wanted a new hobby, something new to jump into, something meaty. So I downloaded Warhammer 40K Space Marine. Been playing that. Been having a fun. Dude, it's really good. It's a classic third-person shooter based in the Warhammer
like Gears
universe.
Of War.
Yeah, it's very similar to Gears of War. It's not as good as Gears of War. It's not a cover-based shooter. There's a lot more melee in it than Gears of War. But
would you use a Warhammer by any chance?
What?
Do you actually use an actual Warhammer? Or is it just called the Warhammer for a reason?
Oh no, there's an actual Warhammer you can get in it.
Okay, I respect. I mean,
who wants a Warhammer when you got a chainsaw sword? That's
that is true.
Yeah, they did the chainsaw weapons before Gears of War did. So, in fact, now looking back at it, I feel like Gears of War is pretty inspired by Warhammer. I mean, they have a lot of similar visual elements.
Probably, I could see Cliffy B doing that.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm playing Space Marine. I'm really enjoying that. I got some minis and gluing them together. Fun fact: I didn't know the whole process of getting the Warhammer minis. Did you know that they don't actually come as minis? They come like in Gundam model kits, and
No.
you have to glue them together like old school models.
Oh fuck.
They
All
don't
right.
snap together at all. So like I'm sitting here like gluing these models together like an asshole, and I don't know, it's different. It's not what I expected. I don't hate it. It's like I said, I was looking for a new hobby, so
Now,
I'm
is
gonna
it
try
something
and
you?
get into
Is it
painting
some?
them. And
Is it something you and Caitlin are doing, or just
yeah,
you?
she's gonna help me because she's
All
really
right.
good at painting minis.
Yes.
um but like I said, I needed something new. I need something
Yeah, I
fresh in
get
my
you.
life.
Yeah, I
So
feel you.
that's what I'm gonna give this a shot, and if I don't like it, then I'll move on to something else completely different. Maybe shooting a bow like the Green Arrow.
Yeah, be
I
the
don't
be
know.
the Jersey Shore Arrow.
The Jersey Shore vigilante.
Yeah, and tell people they failed this city.
Yeah, the first couple seasons of Green Arrow and Flash, for that
We're
matter, were
fucking
so
great.
good. They were so good,
We're
man.
fucking great. Fire.
And
And then we
and then they
fucking
just
killed it.
they ran through all their villains way too fast.
Yeah.
Like
Uh,
why was the Green Arrow fighting Raj Al Ghul? That
that
didn't make
was
any
okay.
sense.
See, that was what I was gonna say. Like, okay, you can't just have him fight Razo. One just doesn't fight Razo. Like, you're not Batman. Like, whoa. Like,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like they were turning Oliver Queen into Batman. That's literally
That's
like
exactly what they were doing.
we really just wanted a Batman show, but we got stuck with Oliver Queen. And listen, kudos to Stephen Amell. I thought he did Oliver Queen in that character justice. Like, I thought, like, well, anytime we think of the Green Arrow, we will think of Stephen Amell, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
he did that character justice. Like, um, a lot randomly weird take. A lot of Spartacus characters popped up in the CW shows. Don't know why that correlation is, but we'll just go with it.
They were
Because like,
available.
yeah, because when Deathstroke popped up, I'm like, oh, that's Manu Bennett. Oh, all right, I can't. There are certain things Manu Bennett's done I can't unsee, but yeah, we're we're here. Yeah, the first 3 seasons were great, and then even the Flash, like the first season of the Flash was actually awesome.
Yeah.
Second season, the third season, because when we started getting
Yeah.
like other
The
speedsters, and they didn't, yeah,
Whereas like the Green Arrow was like a constant like up
yeah,
and
we had
down
Malcolm
until it was
Merlin,
finally
Deathstroke,
down. I feel like the Flash was just downward from the start. Just like
yeah.
just
Well,
didn't.
that's what happens when you do the Reverse Flash season 1.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't just do the Reverse Flash season 1. Like what? Like you go from the Reverse Flash
Yeah.
then to Hunter Zolomon, who isn't even a Barry Allen villain. He is not a Barry Allen villain. He is a Wally West villain. Like you just can't do this shit. You can't. And the CW has
Yeah,
always
I don't
fucked up
know.
the Flash. You remember when the Flash popped up in Smallville? What the fuck, man?
Well, the thing with CW is they seem like they don't have any plan. Like you
No.
remember, and like they're unable to adapt in their writing at all because I think they're stuck. They're so stuck on 24 episode seasons of stuff and
Yeah.
like getting things out for an entire year that some of the stuff they do doesn't even make sense. Like remember when Oliver Queen finally escaped the island and then they brought
Yes.
him back like twice,
Yeah, it
and
didn't make any sense.
they couldn't stop having the flashback sequences. They were like,
Right.
well, this is how our show is structured. What are we supposed to do
Yeah.
without it? And it's like, well, no one really likes them, so maybe you
No.
should just cut them out.
Stop it. No.
Yeah.
Now and then, like, I just felt like this. I love that we're getting onto an Arrowverse conversation. This is good, because I felt like shit just started spiraling out of control.
Yeah.
Because like we got too many shows. We didn't need a Batgirl or Batwoman show. No offense, anyone. We didn't
Never
need a
watched it.
We didn't need a Black Lightning TV show again. No offense, anyone. Just a bad show. Bad show. No
Yeah.
shade to anybody, or this isn't political. It's a bad show. But I did love the crossovers. Like every year, I did look forward to the crossovers because I loved the Elseworld stuff they did. I liked Crisis on Infinite Earth 10 or whatever it was when they were in the crime syndicate universe, basically like the evil Oliver Queen, evil Supergirl and shit like that. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then Crisis on Infinite Earth, you tried. You tried.
Yeah. CW just wasn't the network for it. I don't think
Yeah.
they
It needed
just
to be HBO.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's sad looking back on it because I really was becoming like a really big Green Arrow fan, and I really like I was really enjoying all that, and then it just kept the quality just kept getting worse and worse. And looking back on it, that's really the start of like my comic book fatigue. And it's funny you bring this up because I just had this conversation, like a little bit of an argument with George last night about Spider-Man. And because I don't know if you saw on Twitter, Alden tagged us in a Spider-Man thing about
Yes.
something about the latest comic news. And I replied
Yeah.
that I was just apathetic because the thing is, dude, is that like I am so far removed from that like I don't care anymore. And like they took something that I really cared about and changed what it meant and butchered it and just completely drug it across the floor. And then to comic book fans, like I'm the bad guy for not wanting to read it anymore or not wanting to engage in it anymore, right? Like they
Yeah.
completely changed the meaning of what Spider-Man is. So like for instance, Peter Parker was a really special character. Peter Parker was and it always will be Spider-Man, right? Um and then in Dan Slott's run from 600 to 800, I think it were his numbers. His whole theme was anybody can be Spider-Man, but there's only one Peter Parker, right? Well, now everything since Spider-Verse, the comic book event, everything is a multi Spider-Man event. And the whole theme ever since then has been anybody can be Spider-Man. And it's like, well now Spider-Man's not special, right? If I've got 1,000 Spider-Men in everything, who cares anymore? Like this isn't this isn't the same this isn't the same thing that I fell in love with when I was a child. It's completely different. Like this isn't the same theme, this isn't the same book, this isn't the same energy. Um but for some reason, I'm the bad guy for not liking Spider-Man anymore, you know?
You are the bad guy. Yeah.
It's like
Either die
why?
a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain, buddy.
Worst Batman movie.
Oh, so I have a funny story. Now that we're talking about just kind of life musings and just kind of how we see things, but then like to maybe other people were like, huh. So I was I've been dipping the toe into the dating apps a little bit, just seeing what's out there,
Okay.
and was talking to this one girl, and she goes, "Oh, what are you up to?" I'm like, "Oh, just playing some games." I was playing Danganronpa for some reason.
Mhm.
And she goes, "Oh, what's that about?" So I describe it. I go, "It's a visual novel where this high school kids, get locked in a school and can't escape until one of them commits a murder and gets away with it." And I get a response, "Wow, that's really fucking dark." And then she doesn't say anything for like an hour or two. I'm like, "Oh god, she might be weirded out." Oh no. Oh no. Like, way to go, nerd. That's like right
So
up that's like
stupid.
that might be right up there with that. Those are the bad kids, maybe. That's like maybe a tier below, but we'll
You're
see.
like, she's gonna be so impressed. This is
I just didn't
this
think
is
anything of it, to be honest with you. So so now I'm like super conscious when I'm like describing games, because I was like playing Wolfenstein the other day and got asked the same question. Like, hey, what are you up to? Like, playing Wolfenstein. Like, oh, what's that? Like, oh, it's this game where you kill Nazis. Just killing Nazis. Like, so yeah, that's been my life. But speaking of Wolfenstein, I played the New Order and I played the Old Blood. Fucking
okay.
fantastic fucking games, I will say.
What? So I think that the Youngblood wasn't that like pretty negatively
Yeah,
received.
that one I'm not gonna touch because I've heard it's been really bad. But I mean, it's co-op, so maybe if I can get somebody to co-op it with me. But as far as like the two Wolfenstein games I've played so far, and whenever I get done with Final Fantasy 16, whenever I get it in my hands, because that's another fucking issue, uh, I'm gonna jump into the new Colossus, so Wolfenstein 2. But
Okay.
these are great games, and I didn't realize like how special these games are. But just like the thing that addicts me to them is the gunplay. I love good gunplay,
Mhm.
and so in that game you can either, it's like almost like Dishonored in a way. You can either go stealthy or you can just go in guns blazing. And this game, when you go in guns blazing, is fucking awesome. And like the weapons feel good and the story's fun. And then playing the Old Blood, because the first time I played Wolfenstein was on PS2. I played Return to Castle Wolfenstein. That was like my first Wolfenstein game. So the Old Blood is basically like a remake / reimagining of that game. And I had so much fucking fun playing that game. Like there are times where I'm like sitting there and getting in the shootouts, like laughing. I'm like, this is a great time. Just mowing them down. So
now I've heard these games are pretty challenging.
yeah, they're
Do you
hard.
agree with that?
Yeah. I played it on the second to hardest difficulty because I like a little challenge. But yeah, it was a good time. It's a good time. So I think I might just keep spending my summer while I'm playing along RPGs, just running through some of these like Bethesda FPSs that I haven't played. I think once I finish Wolfenstein, I think I'm gonna play Rage 2 because I beat the first Rage and really liked it, and that was a game. And the reason I actually played the first Rage, that was like the last game. I don't know if the name John Carmack means anything to you, but he was like one of the original creators of Doom.
Oh, okay.
So like Rage was like one of the last games he actually worked on. So I'm like, oh, I gotta play Rage, and that was another great game. It was Borderlands, but like Doom style gameplay. So I'm gonna play Rage 2 for sure. The other game I'm playing, big FPS kick, was GoldenEye. I was playing GoldenEye on my Xbox when while I was at home, and that game's like a glove, man. That's like riding a bike. Like it's just familiar. Like you just know what you're doing immediately, and it's just still such a good game. Like even for an N64 era shooter, it's definitely got its issues where the graphics stink, but just the gunplay in that game and the secret gadgets and just the presentation, like, and it's just so fun. And I said, like, you have things committed to memory where I'm playing the dam level, the first one, and it's like I never forgot anything. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like I played it yesterday.
So I wasn't a GoldenEye guy. I was the other
Perfect Dark guy.
N64 game. What was it? What was it?
Perfect Dark.
No, there was another 007 game on N64.
Oh, The World Is Not Enough.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's probably the one that came after. Or is it Tomorrow Never Dies or some shit like that? Yeah.
Nope, it is. It's The World Is Not Enough. So that's the one I played on N64, and I like
GoldenEye's the one.
Well, they're pretty much the same game.
No, not the same games.
What do you mean? So like, The World Is Not Enough comes after GoldenEye.
Yes,
and it's a sequel essentially.
Yes,
it looks better. It plays better.
No, it doesn't. All right, so let's put it. Do you see The World Is Not Enough on any fucking list of top tier anything?
Well, no, but GoldenEye doesn't deserve to be there either.
No, yes, it does. Why not?
Because it's that is a rose-colored nostalgia thing. That like
it isn't.
You can't look up and down. I just want to reiterate. You can't look up and down in GoldenEye.
Yeah, you can.
I thought you couldn't. I thought you couldn't look up and down. Then that's why Oddball was such a big deal.
Odd Job, you mean? Yeah, because you got to aim. Like if you aim, you can look, but like if you're just moving, you're not really looking up and down like that. But again, like it's just GoldenEye is just such a better game, better levels, better weapons, better multiplayer.
I'll take your word for it. I was a Nightfire guy. Really, I like Nightfire.
Nightfire is a great game. Nightfire you see on lists of like great shooters.
Yeah,
you don't see The World Is Not Enough. So, but just pointing it out there. Also, fuck that GoldenEye remake. Don't like it.
Nightfire had a really cool car level that I just remember playing over and over and over again.
Dude, I remember doing the same thing with the Aston Martin.
Like, wow, this is phenomenal. Yeah.
Also, so Agent Under Fire 007, the game before it, also had some pretty bitchin' driving levels. I remember just playing those over and over again. Where you're driving this BMW Z3 and you're just fucking shit up in the streets of Hong Kong. It's great.
Nice.
Yeah, so I've been playing that, and then, like I said, like we'll get into right now, went to see The Flash.
Okay, tell me about
Day one, we were there. So I have some gripes with this movie. Am I going to sit here and say it was a bad movie? No. It was entertaining. I did leave entertained. There was a lot of fan service I liked. But I will say there's definitely some issues with this movie. Big plot holes. I will say I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but the lack of like a real major villain really bothered me. And if you're gonna, like, I don't really think this is a spoiler, but if you're gonna sit here and spoon feed me that the first Flash movie that we ever got, you make the main villain Savitar, we have some problems.
Well, what's wrong with Savitar?
Well, he is not he's not the main villain of Flashpoint. Like, let's put that out there. If you're gonna do Flashpoint, the Reverse Flash has to be there. Now, you know who Savitar is, correct?
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, like, Savitar's a pretty cool villain. This movie was never going to be like tit for tat Flashpoint, you know?
Yeah, but like, as far as is he a cool enough villain to carry a movie? No.
Okay.
Like, essentially, the theme of the movie was like the main villain's Barry Allen. Like, he's the villain.
Oh yeah, I mean, Barry Allen is a villain. He's a menace, actually. I mean, Barry Allen can't stop ruining things. So
yeah, and that was really the theme of the movie. To be honest with you, we just can't like.
That sounds like a great theme. I mean, that's pretty much the whole theme of the comic books too. Like, he just can't stop ruining things.
And then I will say, like, I think the discourse around Ezra Miller really hurt this movie bad. Because a lot of people don't fuck with Ezra Miller. I never was a big fan of the casting. Again, nothing to do with politics or any of that nonsense. It's just I don't think he's a good actor. Don't think he's a good actor. Just gonna put that out there.
I don't understand why they were so hell bent on keeping him, because
I just think because
he didn't do anything. They didn't do anything beforehand. He didn't do anything like beforehand to make a name for himself, did he?
No, he did like Perks of Being a Wallflower, and I know he was in Fantastic Beasts. I don't know why they were hell bent on keeping him either. But then I think the main reason was like they already shot most of the movie, and they're like, "Yo, we're not reshooting all this. It's just like not cost effective." But in the same token, like, you canceled the Batgirl movie. Like, you could have canceled the Flash, unless you thought.
Apparently that Batgirl movie was completely finished, and they thought it was so bad that it wasn't worth releasing.
Yeah, and like this Flash movie, it's not bad. Like I think if you go into that movie and leave saying it's a bad movie, then I don't really know what's wrong with you. Because like the fan service is there. Like, you know, the stuff with Batman is cool. Like, it's really cool. They do some really, really cool things. I don't know if you saw any of the Easter eggs or any of that, but you know, I encourage you to go. I encourage everyone to go see the movie. Enjoy the movie. It is, as a movie, it is completely fine, completely entertaining. As a Flash fan, it did leave a lot to be desired, and it sucks because I don't know if we're gonna get another Flash movie because this movie flopped. It was projected it was projected to do 75 million in opening weekend, and I think it barely sniffed 55.
Yeah.
So like, but again, like, I think some of that's because of Ezra Miller. I think also some of that's because of what's going on with the DCEU. Like, I think DC didn't really do this movie any favors.
I don't think that there's been a comic book movie that's come out recently that's blown up. I think the floor is finally starting to drop out. Yeah. I think people are sick of them. I really do. I think that, like, first off,
getting just too many of them.
They ran through all their good stories already, especially Marvel, dude. Marvel's doing Secret Invasion now.
Which Secret Invasion like was a fucking stupid storyline because of Mattel or whatever it was. Yeah. Like, it was like it's the dumbest fucking storyline. Like, and I don't even want to get into Secret Invasion. Like, it's so dumb. Like, but I'm already mad at myself because I'm so far into fucking Phase 5. I'm gonna fucking watch everything because I'm already here. That's it. You're not getting me for another phase. That's it, Marvel.
And that's the thing. Like, they ran out of all their good stories. They ran through them way too fast. So Marvel, they're screwed. Unless they can start getting creative and writing these characters not based on the comic books, they're screwed.
Just kill it.
DC is super fucked because their books are so much more character driven instead of overall plot driven. That, like, the crossovers in DC are actually a big deal in the comic books.
Yes.
But they have these really phenomenal... The reason they're such a big deal is because they have these really phenomenally written characters. Like, the Batman book has always been consistently good. Always. Yes. So like when he is in the Justice League, you go into the Justice League books with that contextualization of Batman, right?
Yes.
But DC isn't doing that. They're just trying to create like the Justice League movies and stuff. I don't know what
Yeah.
they do from this point forward. Um, but
Well,
that's
there's
why I think that's why the DCU completely flopped overall. Is because they were just trying to rush it.
yeah, and that's the thing where they. I know we don't like it when people rip off Marvel, like it's kind of a stupid formula, but I think DC would have benefited from this because like we were just getting movies that made no sense. Like
Yeah,
we got that Justice League movie way too early,
yeah.
and like so that we didn't get a Cyborg movie, we didn't get the Flash movie until afterward. Like it's and you got to set that shit up. You got to set it up. But I will say with the DCU right now, like with the Flash movie, kind of I guess resetting everything, but you just fucking lop the knees off Blue Beetle. No one's gonna watch that now
Nope.
because that movie doesn't matter. And then Aquaman, that movie doesn't fucking matter either. So literally, the next two movies coming out for DC are fucking dead on their ass.
And like,
And then,
dude, listen.
then this move, so and then the Snyderverse, I guess if you want to call it, it's dead, which is disappointing because I thought there was a lot of potential there.
There was a lot of potential for like the anti Marvel comic book movies. But again, like I said earlier in the show, you have Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman, the Trinity, right? That's why they call
Yes,
them that.
correct.
And then you have the other guys, okay?
Yes, you have Flash and Cyborg.
Yeah. You have the other guys, Flash, Cyborg, Aquaman, Green
Yeah.
Lantern. They're like your backup hitters.
Yes.
I don't really need a movie about Cyborg, I'll be honest. He's
No,
kind of a lame
not needed.
character,
You could have
you
did a
know?
TV show. You could have peacemakered him, if you, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Or you could just give him cameos
Sure.
and throw him in that way. Green Lantern's a cool character, but DC refuses to do anything with him.
Now, I
So
will say the Lantern show that we're gonna get intrigues me.
I really hope Ryan Reynolds makes an appearance. I think that'd be so
No,
funny.
no, because he fucking shits on that. Like, fuck him. You're Deadpool now. You're Deadpool. Be Deadpool.
I just think it'd be funny.
It would be
Be
funny,
awesome.
but yeah, no, he can be Deadpool. I will say with the Lanterns though, I think with DC you have an opportunity to do some really cool stories because there's stories that they can do that they haven't fucked up. Like we could probably get a good Batman Hush movie. I'm hoping. Like I think we
Yeah.
could get that. We get a little Court of Owls action in there. As far as I would love to see whatever the Superman legacy is. I would love to see them do Kingdom Come Superman. I would love an Injustice movie. That would be something I would be into because I feel like that would be a fucking
Injustice
sick premise. Again.
Injustice is the best thing that's happened to the comic book genre in the last 20 years. Injustice is so good and people don't realize it. Like Injustice has consistently been better than the mainline comics.
Yeah,
Consistently. Injustice is so good, dude. And the games are pretty phenomenal
they're
too.
phenomenal. But here's the issue: DC, we don't trust you.
No.
Like that's the thing that sucks because look at the stuff they're doing now. Like I finally watched the James Gunn stuff, like the kind of overview he was going to do. So we're getting like Gods and Monsters is like the first part, and I already don't like we're going to get another Batman. Like we're going to have Batman, and then like the Robert Pattinson Batman's Elseworld story is what's going to be considered, and then they're going to cast another Batman. I'm like, why? You have a Batman already. Just let him be fucking Batman.
I don't like that.
And then I get, and I know it's gonna be a controversial take, but I can get with moving off Henry Cavill. Like, fine, move off Henry Cavill. You're gonna do that, but who are you gonna cast as Superman?
I don't know. Henry Cavill to me was such a lost opportunity because he was such a phenomenal Superman. How does Henry Cavill get two perfect roles
And
for
get
him?
fucked out of both of them.
Yeah. Well, so they didn't really release any information. I truly believe he walked away from The Witcher because of them not following the source material. Because that's Netflix's bread and butter. Is taking something and ruining it, right?
And he's like, I'm not here for this.
Yeah, and Henry Cavill cared about The Witcher. He really loves the lore, and he's a huge nerd. I was thinking about this earlier. Is Henry Cavill the new like nerd god?
Yes.
I mean, he's top tier everything. So I'm
Yeah,
not
because
sure how
and
this guy did this.
here's my thing about Henry Cavill, right? I recently rewatched the scene where, remember in Justice League where he gets like resurrected. That
Oh yeah, I
scene where
forgot
he's
about
like
that.
evil Superman for about 10 minutes. Fucking great scene. I'm like, yo, Superman as a fucking villain is like believable right now. Where he's like holding Ben Affleck, he's like, tell me, do you bleed? I'm like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Like, imagine if he would have just
Yeah,
killed him.
yeah, it was sweet.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Just
Injustice would be great, but like, I don't know who you're gonna cast as Superman. Like, I don't know if anyone's gonna top Henry Cavill as Superman. Like,
I don't think so.
no, like, I don't know who you cast. I don't know any up and coming actors. Like, I just don't want to see some dumbass shit where they like cast fucking John Cena as fucking Superman or something dumb. Like, not that would happen or fucking. I'm trying to think of like what would be another terrible casting for Superman.
Oh my god, it's the 14-time WWE champion John Cena.
Right. Or even and again, DC's had big opportunities where like you cast The Rock as Black Adam. And
Dude, and like that
props to
sucks
the
because that movie flopped.
yes. Props to The Rock that he tried to like sell Teth Adam being on the same level as Superman. Like, oh, we're gonna fight. I'm like, these characters are not on the same level, son. Like, there's a pecking order in the
No.
DC comic book universe, and Black Adam and Superman are not on the same level. So the fact that they did that cameo at the end where like these two like we should talk. I'm like, that's fun. It's fun. It's bullshit, but it's fun. But that's
Well,
also the
like
Superman problem. He's too powerful.
yeah, I mean that's always been the Superman problem. There's no consistency and he's way too powerful. Like
But I thought Zack Snyder did the best job with him.
that whole conversation about Superman versus Goku, right? Like is so infuriating, dude, because in 99.99% of all Superman continuity, Goku absolutely bodies him like early on in Dragon Ball Z, right? Early
Yes.
on.
Yes.
I mean, we're talking Planet Busters early on in Dragon Ball Z. And then by the time you get to the Frieza saga, he's hundreds of times more powerful than that. Right? So, and then by the time you get past into the Cell saga, he's got like 100 times multiplier on top of that. Like
Yeah.
the power levels just started going out of control. So the thing is that, but there is those 0.01% of Superman stories where they can look back and be like, well, Superman pulled an entire solar system through outer space. So
Yeah.
he's clearly more strong. And he flew back in time, so he's clearly faster than the speed of light. And it's like, all right, well, if we're just gonna go off all like the ridiculous achievements that Superman's done that didn't even make sense, then what are we even talking about here?
Correct. So I agree. And then last two things I'll say about the DCU, things they could do that they haven't touched yet that I think would be really good. The Blackest Night storyline could be great.
Yeah, you got to introduce Green Lantern first, though.
Well, that's
right?
what they're doing, that Lantern show, so they're like slightly setting it up. I mean, let's,
Yeah,
I doubt it. It's not going to happen,
that's
but
Blackest Night's like a season 4 thing, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like you gotta really set up the Green Lantern lore before you jump into Blackest Night.
yeah. And for all we know, this could be JSA Green Lantern, and fuck that.
I think. I mean, it's like you can't argue. It's a classic. It's a classic costume.
It is, but fuck that. Like, I'm not wrong here.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
And then the other one I think that they could do that would be really cool would be some of the Justice League Dark stuff. I'd be in for that. Give me a little John Constantine.
Yeah,
give me a little bit of that.
Sure. Give me a new Keanu Reeves Constantine.
Oh, Keanu Reeves. Speaking of him, we've been watching the John Wick movies. God, I fucking love those. God, I fucking
consistently
love those
good. Consistently good.
Love it. All right, so now it is time for a little word association with our boy Seth here. I'm just gonna throw 10 words out there. You're just gonna give me the first thing that comes to mind. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Bethesda.
Skyrim.
Skyrim. Okay. Let's see. Comic books. Miles Morales.
Hatred.
Hatred. Final Fantasy VIII.
Squall.
Squall.
I
Okay.
almost said Leon, but I was like,
Leon.
that's a stupid Kingdom Hearts thing. It's Squall.
Next thing. Titanic.
Ocean.
Whiskey.
Drunkenness.
Oh God.
It's funny because the first thought that comes to my mind when you said whiskey is Watson giving us that whiskey from like the 60s and me getting super, super sick on it.
Yeah, I remember that. My first thought when I thought of whiskey was like that fucking plastic bottle whiskey we were drinking in Boston.
Old Thompson. Yeah. Very, very not okay.
Okay, next one. Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen?
Yeah, is that her name? Is that Spider-Gwen?
Yeah. Cool costume is the first thing that comes to my mind. She has the coolest costume.
So did you see the controversy, speaking of Spider-Gwen, that she's apparently trans?
No, she's not. This is just people who don't have anything that want to take. So this is a whole other discussion, right? But it's one thing to enjoy a hobby and like jump into a hobby and like try to engage with it. It's another thing to co-op and take over a hobby, like is what happened to D&D and what happened to, let's be honest, comic books.
Yeah.
So like they saw Spider-Gwen and they're like, this is a really cool character. It's ours now. And it's like, no. No, it's not. But because we got some bitch ass writers and executives in Marvel, it's probably going to end up coming true. So that's how these things happen.
That's a little crazy to me.
It's just how it happens, dude. It's like everyone's trying to prove something, and whatever. I'm exhausted. I can't do the comic book thing anymore, dude. Like it's so exhausting to me. I hate talking about it.
It is comedy though, so no, not gonna lie. Last one, we will go with bronies.
Pedophiles.
Pedophiles. That's awesome. All right, moving.
I don't mind calling it out. I don't mind. Listen, I don't mind saying it. I'm like, you guys are weird. Stop it. All right. We all know the truth.
Yes, pedophiles. All right. So moving into our main topics of the show. Like I said, we already addressed the Flash movie and establishing the pain that the Flash just might not be that popular. No questions at this time. But let's get into these Xbox showcase impressions. I'm not sure if you talked about this with the Frame Skip lads, but
did we talk about this last week? We didn't record
Yeah.
episodes since PlayStation one, did we?
Yeah. If we did, hey, fuck it. I came away from the show being very underwhelmed, and my issue is as follows, because I ranked this literally under Nintendo's Direct because I thought Nintendo had a better show, but excuse me. I thought Microsoft showing Fable, showing me Avowed, and a couple other games that are coming in 24. Cool, that's great. That is great. But if you're gonna sell me on Starfield being the main game, like if you're gonna do that, right? Starfield has to hit. And then when I saw the Starfield Direct, I didn't want to fucking watch it. I'm like, don't watch it. You're gonna get pissed off. Don't watch it. You're gonna get pissed off. I watch it, and I'm just like, this game looks great. I could even get behind Todd Howard saying, hey, we locked this in at 30 frames because of the performance. We wanted to have consistent performance. I can fuck with that. That's fine. Not a huge issue for me. But if this game comes out with the classic Bethesda jank and fucking broken and not working, like Bethesda games are known to do, like we expected at this point, it's almost a meme. That's completely unacceptable to me. And then now I'm reading that like only 10% of the planets are populated with life, which that's fucking crazy. But we'll get into that.
Well, no, I mean, no, we might as well just throw it in now so it's natural. So Todd Howard came on Kind of Funny the other day and said that only 10% of the planets in Starfield are populated with alien life, and that there's other uses for the other planets and whatnot. And it's like, no, here's what's really happening is that these planets are procedurally generated.
Yeah.
And we got a No Man's Sky situation happening. And the thing is that I I really think that now people might disagree with this, but I think Bethesda saw No Man's Sky. We're like, wow, that's a good idea. We're gonna take that
And think we could do it
because
better. Right.
if you look at the trailer and like the showcase, the thing that they did for
Yeah,
Starfield, it
direct.
looks
Yeah,
like No Man's Sky. It looks like
that's
No
what I was
Man's
gonna say.
Sky,
Yeah,
and I don't care what these stupid journalists say that this is a good thing and No Man's Sky is cool, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that doesn't change the fact that it looks just like No Man's Sky, a game that's been out for 5 years, and No Man's Sky has a very small, concentrated fan base, and that is not what we want from our Bethesda games. We don't want a massive crafting simulator.
no,
And dude, I'm telling you, like I really want to be excited for Starfield,
I can't.
but the more I see about it, the more I get that sick feeling in my stomach. Like
Yeah,
this isn't right. Something's wrong.
yeah. And here's the thing with Starfield, because Bethesda builds great worlds, or they historically have. So when I think of a game like Starfield, I think, oh shit, there's gonna be all these planets built and crafted by Bethesda, who's like, more times than not, they do a really good job of just designing lore and worlds and making it so we discover those little storyline threads, with side quests and stuff. Like that's the stuff I'm into. And now you're telling me it's going to be procedurally generated, so it's just completely at random. And I don't know if the same, like we just talked about AI, like being like lifeless. Like, is it going to be the same lifelessness that there's no love or thought gone into like how this level or how these worlds are designed, and there's going to be no unique characters? Like I don't know. Like obviously we're gonna have to play the game, but I just have some major concerns for Starfield, and then that ties back into my concerns for Microsoft, where this showcase, like, I don't know if I can trust Microsoft to put out quality stuff anymore. Like,
No, I agree with you.
and it sucks because like I want to. There's nothing I want to do more. Like literally, my birthday's coming up. I'm like, I was thinking about it. You know what? Let's buy yourself the a Series X. You've wanted one. Let's invest. But then the same token, like, why? Like, why should I
Exactly.
do it? There's nothing for me to play on Xbox that I'm just dying to play. And there's nothing like, yeah, there's stuff I'm looking forward to next year. Sure, I'm looking forward to Fable. I'm looking forward to Avowed. I'm looking forward to I forget. So there's some other shit they announced, but even and then a lot of their third party stuff looks good. But again, I can play all that on my PS5.
Right.
So and that's what kind of everyone's like, oh, this is a huge get. These are huge gets. I'm like, yeah, they're huge gets for third party, but like that's not a reason to own the system.
I don't I don't know what they're going for at this point. What I will say is I think the Xbox showcase was good in terms of a the Xbox showcase was good in terms of a video game showcase. Does that make
Yeah,
sense? Like,
yeah, absolutely, yes.
but in terms of like the Xbox brand, it wasn't very strong. But if we're just looking at like a compilation of like really cool announcements, I
Yeah,
think it
sure,
was
yeah,
top tier, right?
I agree with you.
Um, but you're right. There is almost no reason to own an Xbox right now. I mean, the thing is that a lot of people, myself included, have nice PCs, and you can play
Yeah,
all the Xbox games on nice PCs.
right. And maybe that's what
Um,
they're going for. Who knows?
maybe,
They said some wild
but
shit today
it's sad to see Microsoft fall so high from
from where they
what they
were.
used to be. You
Did
know,
you see what they tweeted, by the way? IGN, what they tweeted about Microsoft?
no,
That it's rumored that like execs, or let me pull up the tweet because I don't want to misquote anybody here. The tweet is there. It was basically along the lines where they were saying that they lost the console war.
oh, I saw that. That was part of the Microsoft Activision purchase thing.
Yeah, so I don't like. I'm assuming that this is like taken out of context, and someone at IGN just kind of saw that and tweeted it. But is that a bad look?
Yeah, it is. It's a terrible look. But it's also a look that shouldn't be taken at face value because right now both Xbox and Sony are fighting this Activision purchase,
Yes.
and they're both trying to make themselves like victims so
Right.
that so I think that's what it is. So Microsoft can be like, oh, how can this be a monopoly and such a strong purchase when we're clearly on the back foot on the console wars.
Right. Yeah. So I think that's kind of the context I took it in, but I would just say like I don't know, like you hit the nail right on the head. Like there's not really a big reason to own an Xbox. Like if I go and buy the Series X or Series S, there's nothing that I'm sitting there like, oh, I've been dying to play this besides I guess Starfield. And I feel like they're taking a page out of Nintendo, where Nintendo historically has done this. They'll put out the one big game, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
sprinkle little smaller releases around, the year, which is fine. But Nintendo historically doesn't fuck up that big game. Like Tears of the Kingdom is the big game for this year. Tears of the Kingdom undoubtedly is the banger of the year. That's the fucking game you're gonna get. So and like we'll slowly get into the Nintendo stuff. But like in no universe were you getting Metroid Prime 4 this year. Like that shit was not happening. Like you got Tears of the Kingdom, and then you're gonna get this. You're gonna get the smaller stuff, but like again, Tears of the Kingdom came out and wasn't fucked up. It wasn't like fucking horribly glitchy. It wasn't. It was a quality product. So if you can pull that off, and Starfield hits, great. But it's on Game Pass, so is it even like what are the sales? Like I don't even know how you're gonna gauge sales. And that's the other thing that's maddening. Like I don't see the sustainability of this.
Mm-mm.
So
No, I'm on the same page with you. Do we want to go down some of the announcements though?
yeah. Let's go down some of the announcements because I don't remember
Because
them
I
all.
have I have a lot to say about Fable, and I'm really annoyed by this.
Floor is yours,
Um,
sir.
you shouldn't take a franchise and deceive people into thinking you're making another game in that franchise when you're rebooting it into something almost completely unrecognizable. The Fable franchise wasn't built around like fairy tale fables. It had nothing to do with them.
No.
And it was a really fun, stylized game that had a
Yeah.
really cool world that people liked.
Yeah.
And I think I'm not alone because this game is getting a lot of shade. I'm not alone in thinking that this was going to be maybe a reboot in that world or a game that takes place in like a prequel time period or something. But this is not what we wanted. And I think this game looks like mediocre garbage. And I don't understand why they wanted this.
So
First
do you
off,
feel that?
I'm so tired of people saying that like first off, that main character is uglier than a bag of shit. And like it looks like a bunch of smashed assholes is what it looks like. And I'm tired of people saying, "Oh, that's how Fable characters have always looked." No, it's not actually. No, it's not. You know how they always looked? They always looked ugly, but consistent, right?
Yeah.
That world was super consistent and cool. And this, if you look at this, I'm looking at this trailer right now. Every other character in this trailer looks fucking normal. And this character looks like absolute trash. And I don't understand why it has to be like that. It's a very consistent theme in the West.
Yeah, I don't
And
understand that either.
also, the dude, the giant, just a celebrity. That's just an actor from Britain, and they just wanted to throw him in there for marketing
Shits and
purposes. I
giggles.
think.
Yeah.
I have no interest in this game after watching this trailer. None.
Well, so now that you kind of propose that, when I saw it, and it was like what I forgot what the fuck the fairy tale is. It's a Jack and the Beanstalk, right?
Yes.
So I'm like, that's interesting. But then it was a Fable game. I'm like, I guess I didn't put two and two together that they were gonna make this game about like an actual Fable. Where I'm just like, I thought it was just kind of what they were doing, but it was going to be a typical Fable game with like choices and consequence. Because like if they just make Fable into just literal games about fables, we missed the fucking assignment hard.
Dude, why would you do that? Like it's a beloved Xbox franchise.
Yeah, like you
Why
missed the
would
mark
you
bad.
why like you're purposefully misrepresenting the game. You're not making a Fable game, right?
Oh, you're
That
making
that
it
is
a Fable.
something that means that is something that means something very specific. You are making something completely different, and they could have called it anything else. They could have called it fairy tales,
Yeah,
right? They could have called it myths and
yeah,
Fable. Like you're not making a Fable reboot. You're making something completely different and slapping the Fable name on it for marketing. And I have a problem with that as a person who has loved the Fable franchise since the first game. And
yeah.
I
That's a
feel,
huge issue.
yeah, I feel honestly, I feel stabbed in the back by Microsoft for it, and I'm pretty mad about it because this game is not what I remember, and it doesn't look interesting at all. Who wants to play a
I
game about Jack and the Beanstalk? You know, I mean,
Not
now
this
granted,
guy.
it's not all about that. There's also there's like werewolves in the trailers and whatnot, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
But
care.
if this is gonna be a game about like actual fables, then like that, again, that's like completely missing the assignment. So I will I will reserve judgment until I get shown gameplay, which again was I thought another major issue of this conference. Um,
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that's a trend of this whole year. I'm so sick of it.
yeah. So we had Fable, and then what we had. I know they showed a little bit of Hellblade, which again we saw no gameplay.
Yeah, here's the thing: if you don't show me gameplay of your
I'm not
game,
interested.
don't care. They showed that South of Midnight game, and it looks like a Bayou. Like I got very live service game
Uh,
aspects from this. They showed Star Wars Outlaws, which I have softened on since seeing it. When I first saw it, I was like really excited for this game, right? And I
yeah,
saw it and I was like, well, this looks like the most generic Ubisoft game I can
yeah. That's
possibly
what
imagine.
when I saw their Ubisoft Direct or whatever it was, I was immediately out. I'm like, we're out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not out. I'll give it a shot, but this trailer that they showed wasn't interesting. And it looks like they used the same. I mean, I know it's not the same animations, but it looks very similar to like the Assassin's Creed animations.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, man. I'm not a big Ubisoft guy anymore. I was when I was
Speaking of
younger.
Ubisoft, what happened to Beyond Good and Evil 2?
Uh, they canceled it, but didn't want to admit it. That's what happened.
Remember when they like that was like a big deal?
What happened to the Skull and Bones game? You know, like, come on, get over it. You know, let it go. It's time to let these things go and cancel
Just
them.
kill it. Come out and
But
cancel it.
anyway, Star Wars Outlaws. I don't have a super big problem with it. A lot of people were like, calling it woke and whatnot. I don't think that I didn't get that vibe from it. But I am sick of playing human characters. This should have been like a
Yeah.
Twi'lek or something. That's what I'm reading the High Republic books right now. I finished the first and second one. I'm on the third one now. And the cool thing about the High Republic book is that there's almost no humans in that. They're
That's
all
cool.
like these cool Star Wars races. I'm just tired of seeing like humans everywhere in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, fucking humans.
If you took it on face value, you would think that humans make up 90% of the Star Wars
That's how it
races.
feels.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's my only complaint about it. And then it just looks super generic. They showed off 33 Immortals. I don't remember. I don't even remember what this game is. The Xbox Showcase was so long ago. This is like a stupid Payday 3. I'm not really into Payday. I don't know how you feel about
Honestly,
Payday.
this game looks like every other Payday. Like I wasn't impressed.
I know
Honestly,
Watson loves them.
honestly, it was a little cringe with every like. I guess for me with everything going on, like I'm like, oh shit, you're just killing NYPD. That's a good look.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't know how we're getting away with this game in this day and age, but whatever, fine. If you're a Payday person, do you? We're not Payday guys here.
No, we're not Payday guys. But to be fair on that front, that is how the games have been set up
Right.
since,
They've always been that way, so that's not like it's anything new. But I just like in today's lens, like do I personally have a problem with it? No, but like in today's lens, where
yeah.
most things are a problem, I was a little taken aback.
Yeah. Now we got a big announcement. Persona 3 Reload. How are you feeling?
Yes. So immediately I saw that this leaked and I was excited. I'm like, oh sweet, Persona, yay. I love Persona. I'm probably gonna buy it. And then I saw, oh, it's not gonna be the FES content. It's gonna be just vanilla Persona 3 remake. I'm like, Why? So they're gonna do one of two things. Either they're just gonna say fuck FES, or they're gonna sell it to us like typical Atlas does, and that's another thing, we let them get away with this. But they're gonna be like, oh, here's the new version, reload FES, $59.99.
Okay, but do you know? Okay, but do you know what FES added to the game?
It added the answer DLC,
Right,
or not DLC,
which
yeah,
is
fucking hard,
terrible,
kick you in
right?
the fucking dick.
It
Yes.
sucks, and there's almost no plot. So I'm fine with FES being excluded, because what I saw was it's not necessarily FES that's excluded, because it's just they're not including the answer and the female protagonist.
Yeah, I
Female
saw that too,
protagonist
which I thought
was in Persona 3 Portable, and it's non-canon, so it was just like an extra little fun thing, and people took
Yeah.
it super personal. I don't
Yeah.
care about that.
I just feel like people don't feel like we're getting the full package of Persona 3 that we could be.
People are whiny little bitches, man. I mean, no one even played the fucking answer, and the female protagonist isn't canon. So like, if it doesn't fit into their universe, like, just rip it out. So I'm fine with it.
I played the answer, and that is true trauma.
Did you hate your life?
Yeah, that's the answer's fucking hard. Like literally
Yeah.
the first little level, if you're not like at least level 100, you're gonna get your dick kicked right the fuck in.
Yeah. So I'm super excited for this game. Now,
I'm pumped.
what are we not going to do?
Buy it.
What are we not going to do this time, Pedro?
We're not going to skip Tartarus. I'm assuming they fixed that.
They're not going to fix that. Are you kidding? They just did it in Persona 5.
Yeah, no, we're gonna stay on top with Tartarus. We're not going through that pain.
I tried to warn you.
You did warn me, and I was like, and then like I'm like, oh my god.
Like, you're at the climax of the game, you just want to get to the next part, but no, you got to climb through 50 levels of Tartarus. Have fun.
It's because Tartarus sucks. Like Tartarus
is
so bad.
Yeah.
Get rid of Tartarus, please.
I'm so glad I learned my lesson in Persona 5, and I only slacked off a little bit, so I only had to catch up by like 10 levels.
I learned my lesson too, because anytime in Persona 5, I'd get to the very bottom of fucking Mementos. Fun fact, spoilers. But until, so when I got to the end where you had to, dip into Mementos again, it was only like a couple levels.
Yeah.
But I was so
I remember for some reason that final Mementos dungeon being like pretty brutal. And I don't know why.
I mean, everyone I've talked to found it difficult. I was like super over leveled at that point. I was like level 110 or something like that.
Yeah.
Your boy still can't kill the Reaper.
So it's funny that we bring up Persona, because I just talked about this with Austin and George last night. This syndrome that we have with Persona 5, the repulsion, and how weird it is, because I've never experienced something like this before. And it's me, you, and Austin all have this same effect, where Persona 5 just like burnt something in us. Yeah. And I'm not quite sure what it was.
I can't touch anything Persona 5, really. Like, no. I remember I tried playing Persona 5 Strikers, and I was just like, we're in there, and then you get to the cafe, and the song hits, and then like you go to leave, and Morgana's like, you should go to bed. And I'm just like, I just shut it off.
Yeah,
I haven't touched it since.
It's a phenomenon we've talked about extensively on this show, because it's so weird. It's so weird, because I truly do love Persona 5.
Yes.
But the thought of making the thought of playing Persona 5 just makes me want to throw up.
Yeah, can't do it. Don't want to do it. That's why when I saw that Persona 5 Tactica, I was like, I have so much Persona 5 fatigue.
I know, and it's so crazy, dude, because that game came out years ago. And I had so much fun playing through it, but there is nothing that in my body that I want to do less than play through Persona 5 anything again.
Yeah. I just don't want to do it. Like, I remember I tried playing through the Royal and couldn't do it.
Yeah. Me either. I've tried twice now. Okay, so now we got Avowed. What did you think of Avowed? This is a big deal.
I like Avowed. I'm excited for Avowed. I don't really know what the discourse is around the art style. A lot of people were mad about the art style from what I was reading online. I
Yeah.
don't understand. Like you guys know this is Obsidian, right? Like this is going to be a quality game. Like they don't. Obsidian is one of the few developers that doesn't fuck up. And what does it matter the art style? Like what does it matter? Like if you played Pentiment and you played the Outer Worlds, like the art style isn't great on those games either. Like it's not anything to write home about, but they're great games.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pull up Obsidian Entertainment here, and I want to see the list of games they created.
They've
Oh,
made great fucking games.
the first one, Knights of the Old Republic 2, the Sith
Yeah, great
Lords,
fucking game.
fantastic game. Released too early, but that's
Yes,
an EA issue. Neverwinter Nights 2, much beloved. Alpha Protocol, didn't play it.
then play it.
Fallout New Vegas, super
Play the
beloved.
shit out of it. Yeah.
Dungeon Siege 3, people liked that game.
I didn't play that.
Now we got a bomb. South Park: The Stick of Truth. Yeah,
That was a great game. People love that.
phenomenal. Pillars of Eternity. People love it.
People,
Skyforge. Not familiar.
I don't know what that is. Man.
Yeah, not familiar with Skyforge. Pathfinder Adventures. People love it. Armored Warfare. Don't know it. Tyranny. Don't know that one either. The Outer Worlds. People loved it.
Yeah, it's a great game. I love it.
Grounded. People loved Grounded.
Uh huh.
Pentiment. Don't know it. Did you know
People
Pentiment?
love Pentiment. I played Pentiment. I like Pentiment a lot.
And then Avowed. So like we're talking about a studio who like consistently puts out phenomenal games.
Yes.
Now, the reason people are upset is because and this is a miscommunication I think on their part. The initial trailer for Avowed, which is by the way all we've gotten up until this point,
Yeah.
years ago, showed a very dark, gritty trailer.
Yes.
But now we see like actual in-engine footage, and it's a little more cartoony. It's
Which is whatever. Like,
yeah, I mean it's got a style. Do we want a clone of the Elder Scrolls? And also, it's
No.
really not that cartoony. It's just a little more bright and colorful. Is
Yeah.
all it is.
and I'm all for Obsidian clowning Bethesda, like doing their games just better than them. Like, I'm for it. I'm here for it.
Yeah,
But like, I have zero problem with this art style. I'm looking forward to Avowed. I know I'm
think it
getting
looks
a quality
cool.
product there.
I think it looks cool, man. I think it looks really cool. I don't have a single issue with it. The dark and gritty thing, it looked cool. It did, and I do kind of wish we were getting dark and gritty stuff, but this is fine. This is exactly what we wanted from
We
them.
get so much dark and gritty. Like, I want
Yeah.
something unique. I want something that has its own style.
Yeah, I mean this looks great. People,
Yeah, but you
again,
got to show me
people were just
gameplay.
well, there was gameplay in that trailer.
Yeah,
That's gameplay.
but I'm saying
People are just
moving forward,
whiny little
there's more
babies.
gameplay. Yes.
This game's not coming out next year, by the way.
No. Fuck no.
Avowed is a 2025 game.
I'll be 35 years old when I play this game.
They announced Sea of Thieves: The Legend of Monkey Island. You into that?
I'm actually excited about this. I like Sea of Thieves.
I fucking hate Sea of Thieves.
What? Did you play it?
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, but this is like an actual
okay.
story DLC. It's fun time.
Yeah, I mean, I make a joke towards Watson every time he tells me he's been playing Sea of Thieves because I'm like, oh, did you make a lot of progression? There's no progression in Sea of
No.
Thieves. It's stupid. I can't stand that. We already talked about Hellblade 2. Okay, big deal. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. What'd you think?
Can't wait to play it on my PS5.
Okay, but what'd you think about Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth?
Well, they didn't show. It was just Ichiban naked. Like, I'm gonna buy
on the
it
beach.
in
Yeah,
America.
but-
in America.
Yeah, and so that was the thing to me. This seems like America or some sort of European country.
Yeah, and I think he's in the USA. I think California. It looked like to me.
And I don't know how to feel about that. Do I want Yakuza in San Francisco?
Or it could have
San
been
Diego.
Hawaii. Let me put it that way. But I'll give it a chance. Every Yakuza game I've played, minus 4 and 5, or mainly 4. I really fucking hate 4. Has been fine. I really love the Yakuza series or the Like a Dragon series right now.
Mhm.
So I will commit to buying it. I'm in.
Okay. I think at some point I'm going to play Like a Dragon. I started it and I thought it was pretty good.
I haven't
So,
played
I
Like a Dragon yet. I have it. It's just really buried in the backlog right now. We'll get to her though. We'll get there.
I'm going to skip through some of these announcements so because we're going to run long.
What about Like a Dragon, the man who erased his name?
Yeah, so that's what I was looking for. So I'm not caught up on the Yakuza lore. Of course,
Yes.
I've only played a few of the games. But I really thought I remembered them pimping that Yakuza 6 was Kiryu's last
Yes.
adventure.
Yeah.
Apparently, they lied.
And they're like, he's too popular of a character. Let's give him another game.
Yeah. So now they have 3 Yakuza series going on at the same time,
Yes.
which is interesting.
I think so I have a take. And I've been wanting to make this take for a while.
All right, take me there.
And this is for all of us Sega boys out there. We're back.
No, you're
We're
not.
back. No, we're
No,
100%
you're not.
back. We're 100% back.
All right, tell me how you're back.
So we got Like a Dragon. It's doing gangbusters right now. It's a very popular series.
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting a ton of those games. Sonic games are great right now.
That there was one that was okay.
No, but they're even doing the 2D stuff that's real cool now. Like I liked the fuck is it? Sonic, the new Sonic Jam or whatever the fuck it was called. And then now this new one we're getting, which is basically New Super Mario Brothers with a little Sega twist on it. I'm with it. So we're getting that. And our buddies at Atlas, owned by Sega, putting out fire just left and right. We're back. We are back.
No, you can't count
We're back.
Atlas. Do not count.
We're back.
Don't no.
Yeah.
Don't sling that shit at me, Pedro.
Yeah, no, presented by Sega Atlas. We're back.
Okay. I'll give you Atlas, but they're not that is
We're
nonsense.
back.
You can't
tell
give
me how
me
we're not back.
because Sonic has been trash forever. That new 2D game is probably going to be trash, just like all the other 2D Sonic
2D games are never trash.
Right. All right. And they've got one good franchise right now, which is Yakuza.
We're back. We've been back. Just accept it. We're back.
What else are they going to put out? Virtual On?
That'd be awesome, but no. We're not gonna put out. Probably just gonna be more of this. Probably gonna be more Atlas RPGs. And more. I think we're getting more like competent Sonic games, and we're getting. After this slew of Yakuza games, we need a break. Like we can't have no more. Like we gotta slow it down here.
Oh no, buddy, you're back, and you're back, and that's all they got. That's why you're getting 3 franchises of Yakuza at once.
Yes, I need to play Ishin. By the way, I've like that game's literally been the white whale.
You're getting 4. You're getting 4 Yakuza series at once because you're getting Ishin. You're getting
and the other one.
What's it called? The detective one. What's that called? Remnant? No.
Lost Judgment.
Lost Judgment. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great game.
And then you're
great fucking game.
And then you're getting the Kiryu one, and you're getting the other guy, the Like a Dragon guy.
We're back.
So you're getting that thick Yakuza cheesesteak.
Yes.
And it's packed with ingredients. That's all you're getting from Sega.
We're back.
They're one and done.
I'm saying. Moving along. We're back.
Let's talk about the Nintendo showcase.
Wait. What'd you think about that Atlas? The fucking I can't pronounce that goddamn game.
That the Project Fantasy thing from Atlas.
I thought we were getting Shin Megami Tensei 6. I thought that's what that was.
So did I, dude. At first when I saw it, I'm like, they're doing SMT 6.
Yeah, because I'm like, I popped because I'm like, oh shit, SMT 6 on a real console, no performance issues.
and then you were quickly snapped back to reality when that trailer was at 5 frames a second. That was me and Austin had talked about this privately. That was an objectively terrible trailer. I don't know who put that together last second, but it had no flow whatsoever. It was just like random. It was so schizophrenic, dude. It was like random 1 second intervals of gameplay and like artwork, and I don't even know what that what that game is so remotely about. All I know is it seems a little more classic SMT than Persona. Yeah. But I don't know.
It seems like Persona in medieval times to me, but well, I'm in because I'm intrigued. But yeah, that trailer was booty.
Yeah.
So bad. Movie, and then I think the last thing they announced, didn't they announce Forza and the Forza coming out this year?
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, whatever. Congratulations, Forza fans. All right, moving on to the Nintendo showcase, which I thought for a Nintendo showcase was pretty good.
This was good. Yeah, this was good.
and the reason why it was good, all these games minus I guess the Princess Peach game they're all coming out this year. So like you're going to be playing most of these this year. So everything that was announced, um let's start with the big one. We're getting a Super Mario RPG remake. People have this has been rumored for a while now, and I'm excited for it. I think that was a really good move, really smart move.
Yeah, we live in a great time right now where all these classic RPGs are getting remade, and I'm all for it. That
Yeah.
this is a great way to bring these old RPGs back to life, and
Right,
we're going to talk
and
about Star Ocean here a little later.
I
But
think they handled it in. I think they handled it intelligently because like it appears to be a 1-for-1 remake, which is smart.
Yeah, yeah.
Now they also announced new Super Mario Brothers new Super Mario Brothers Wonder, which I don't know if like at this point are the drug references in Mario getting a little too on the nose, or like because my man like
I didn't.
he eats like a leaf, or he gets a Wonder
Oh
Leaf,
yeah,
which take that for what you will. That could be anything, and then the world just starts going real trippy. So I think Mario's literally been on like a big acid trip the entire time, but that's just me.
maybe,
Yeah,
maybe.
at one point he turns into an elephant. That's the new power up. So yeah. Detective Pikachu 2 coming to Nintendo Switch in October, right around Halloween. Smart. I like Detective Pikachu. I like the 3DS game. I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's
it's
not that's,
something.
so.
It's something.
Let me preface this, but like these announcements aren't going to be like world shattering announcements because again, like you just
A
had
couple
Tears of
of
the
them are.
Kingdom. Yeah, like Super Mario RPG is a big deal. Metal Gear Solid Collection Volume 1 confirmed for Nintendo Switch. Um, this has been confirmed for all the major consoles, I believe, but I am a little concerned with how much they might have changed these games. I fully expect like a lot of the Hideo Kojima branding. I think I talked about this before to be removed from these games, like out. And I feel like, and as long as they don't mess with the presentation about like how these games, are presented and the style, I don't think there's too much you could ruin with it. But presentation's big for me, and if I don't feel like I'm playing a Hideo Kojima game where I clearly am, it
Mm-hmm.
might break a little immersion for me. But they are including the MSX Metal Gears on there, which is actually really cool. So I think this is a really good package. Also, why do we hate Twin Snakes? Why can't we get a Twin Snakes? Just port it.
Well, probably because they're going to end up remaking Metal Gear Solid 1 completely. So they don't want to do that, right?
Well, here's my thing. I feel like what they should do, and this would be smart, remake the first fucking Metal Gear, not Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear. Remake that game
No one wants
because
that.
yes, we do because you already,
No, no.
yeah.
You're the only guy that wants that.
No, I'm not. There is a calling for this because literally at the end of Metal Gear Solid 5 ties into the fucking first Metal Gear Solid or the first Metal Gear game, and you're gonna tell me that's an MSX game we're not gonna play? Like you need to remake that game now. Like, and I think that's where they were headed until Kojima got the fucking boot. But that's just me.
No. You're
Remake
the
the
only one
first
that
two
wants
Metal
that,
Gear
Pedro.
games. I'm in.
Hey,
I think it'd be a
listen,
smart move.
listen. Hideo Kojima
It's
hates
dead,
Metal Gear, and he wanted to tank that franchise, so that's why he did what he did.
but he didn't tank it. It sold
He did.
well
He released an unfinished game. He
because they
did all
forced
he
him
could.
to. Oh my
Hideo
god.
Kojima was a hack.
You're a fucking cretin. Anyway, WarioWare Move It. Again, nothing crazy. Pikmin 4, which if you're a Pikmin guy, hey, I'm not Pikmin guy. I don't know if you're a Pikmin guy.
I am not a
Also,
Pikmin guy.
HD versions of Pikmin 1 and 2 are headed to Nintendo Switch eShop, so you can play that at some point. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet got hidden treasure areas expansions. So I didn't play Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, so they looked cool. But yeah, I don't know if that's really big news, but they looked cool. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe adds new course alongside Petey Piranha, Wiggler, and Kamek. So they're still supporting Mario Kart 8, which is impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon remaster coming to Nintendo Switch. Weird flex. I thought we were gonna get the original Luigi's Mansion, but that's like randomly on 3DS. But yeah, I thought that was a little strange that it wasn't the first one. Vampire Saviors or Survivors looks like a twin stick shooter. Dragon Quest
Have
Monsters
you ever
Dark
played
Pit.
this? Wait, back up. Have you
Vampire
ever played
Saviors?
Vampire Survivors?
No.
It's
Have you?
phenomenal. You should play it. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Why should I play
You
it?
should play it. Yeah.
Why should I play it though?
Because it is a twin stick shooter
Yes.
and it has a really fun gameplay loop where you pick up different upgrades and it's just listen, I'm not a fan of these like extremely difficult roguelike twin stick shooters. This one is a really fun jump in, jump out video game, and I think it's worth the money. I had a blast with it, and it's one of those games where you sit down and in 2 hours disappears,
Okay.
and it's just there's nothing outwardly special about it. It's just extremely fun, and the gameplay loop is really addictive.
All right. I can take your word for that. Moving on, Dragon Quest Monsters. Now, this actually intrigued me. I didn't know Dragon Quest Monsters was a series. Apparently, from what I'm being told, this appeared
I
to be just like a
guess.
new spin-off, and I was like, "You get me with the Dark Prince." I'm like, "All right, all right." And I obviously we're big Akira Toriyama guys, so we're always in with the art style.
Yeah.
But this actually looked really. It's basically Dragon Quest Pokemon.
Yes.
But I feel like it could have a better story than any Pokemon game. So throw that
I
out
don't know.
there.
I don't know. This is the
This
first
is
I've
when
seen
you,
of it.
yeah,
I hate. Listen to me right now.
yeah.
I hate with a dying passion that classic RPG camera angle. It turns me away immediately. When I saw that, I was like, I'm out. I'm
What, the
done.
first person one?
Yeah, the camera angle where like you select an attack and then it just zooms in on the creature and you see like a slash mark or something go across it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hate that.
yeah.
It's not for me.
That's because you didn't grow up with it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but that looks interesting. Yeah, so like we were saying, Dragon Quest Monsters need a demo on that.
Yeah.
I was intrigued. Need a demo. Moving right along, Sonic Superstars, which I think got announced at every conference, so that's clearly going to be multi-plat. It's basically new Super Mario Brothers with a Sonic spin on it, which it's fine. That's okay. I'm excited for it. Now we're gonna have a little discourse here. Can we stop getting
Okay.
Batman Arkham? Can we stop with the fucking Arkham Knight stuff?
Dude, I agree so much. That game series
Let it die.
It ended in what 2015.
Yeah,
It's almost a decade old. Let it go. It's done.
yeah. And and quit treating fucking Arkham Origins or whatever the fuck it was like the redheaded stepchild. Like it's a part of the fucking series. Like,
Yeah,
enough.
I agree.
Enough.
I agree.
So I
Rocksteady,
saw
you're being
that.
a bunch of babies.
Yeah, and like and right now, Rocksteady, you're not even in our good graces because y'all fucked up royally with the fucking Suicide Squad, for the record. But um, yeah, this game, I saw this, I'm like, really? Why do we keep getting this? Like, we don't want this.
Right.
Like,
No, I
they're
agree.
fun.
I was actually
Yeah,
extremely annoyed when I saw this. I'm like,
yeah.
God, can we? Why are we
Just let
doing
it
this
die.
again?
Right.
Yeah.
Agreed. And you know, it's great. I'm an Asylum guy, big Asylum guy. But other than that, like, that franchise isn't all that great to me.
I think Asylum has the coolest vibe,
Yeah.
but I don't know what they were thinking with Arkham Knight with the Batmobile stuff. It's terrible.
Yeah. Fun fact: Jason Todd's the Arkham Knight. So have fun. So then this game made me pop. So Star Ocean, the second story are announced, and it's coming.
We're in.
Coming to Switch, PS5. Xbox losers, you're not getting it. But the art style on this was really cool. I felt like they took the pixel art and then put like the 3D, like on the 3D background. Real cool, and I'm excited for this because this is a game that I've been wanting to play, but like the PS1 version is just, I feel it hasn't aged well,
Nope.
in my
This was
opinion. And it, yeah,
stop selling yourself short. This was the plan from the beginning. We were going to
yes,
wait for them to remake it. That's why we haven't played it
correct.
yet.
Because they remade First Departure, and I played. I've played a fair amount of that, and that's actually a really great game. And especially with all the voice acting and everything, it's a really well done game. So with them doing second story, I think I don't know. I'm glad that we're finally getting some love on Star Ocean. I know famously on this show we had it ranked a little too high in our pantheon of RPGs. I don't know how that happened. Uh, to be honest with you,
We
we
were
just weren't,
firing from the hip. That's how it
yeah, we
happened.
fucking, yeah, we definitely we'll call a friendly flyer there. So, but I'm excited for it. This will probably be, I don't know about day one for me, unless there's a physical version, which I haven't seen if there is or not. Because now
When's the release date on that bad boy?
November 3rd, 2023.
Okay, so is there anything else that's in the way of that? I
As
don't
far
think
as
so.
like, no, not really.
Because
Uh,
if so, I'll be in there day one. Because I think that's
I mean, for me, maybe Spider Man might. No, Spider Man September, isn't that September?
yeah, I think so.
I'm trying to
Um,
think of anything. Yeah, that'll be in the way of that for me.
um, yeah, dude, this is a game that I've been wanting to play forever. Remember, this wasn't even on my radar. And then we
Yeah.
watched that one random YouTube video that went into how
Huh?
deep this game was and like how
Yeah.
crazy you can make stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh wow, how did this get past my radar for so long?
It's just
So
that first Star Ocean game is just like, oh, I don't
yeah,
know.
it
But
hasn't aged too well.
yeah, the gameplay looks great. I think this is a really good job by Square. Really good job.
Yeah, I
Uh,
agree.
moving along, Persona 5 Tactica. Again, this game has been at every conference, so don't really need to spend too much time on that. Myth Force brings a Saturday morning cartoon roguelike to Switch. I'm not a roguelike guy, so I was immediately out.
Have you?
Uh,
Yeah, but the trailer, dude, this game looks so cool. I wish it wasn't a
it
roguelike.
does look cool, but then when I saw it was a roguelike, I'm like, oh, I'm not playing that. Have fun, everyone. Uh,
Fair.
Mario and Rabbids, which is basically XCOM Mario at this point, is getting looks like a DLC. And then Splatoon 3 is getting Splatfest, which I'm not a Splatoon guy. I don't
Mhm.
really think we need to talk about Just Dance. Um, yeah, I don't. I noticed there's a couple farm sims that like were got announced here.
Yeah, it's a big deal right now. Farm sims are blowing up because
Yeah,
of
what's going on here?
that God, what's that game called?
Fantasy Life, Stardew
No,
Valley.
Stardew Valley. Yes, Stardew Valley's huge.
Yeah,
So it all the games that saw how successful it was that are copying it are coming out now.
yeah. And then the other thing, I saw here, just gonna keep scrolling. Silent Hope, Seven Warriors. That looked like it's an Xseed game, or not that they develop it, but it was like, remember like back in the day, like Xseed used to publish these random fucking
Mm-hmm.
RPGs. So I
Yeah.
feel like that's right in that category. I think Silent Hope sees wordless warriors working together to. Huh. Okay, so the game's name is Silent Hope. All right, there we go. That headline was weird. IGN. But again, yeah, it looks like an action RPG. So we'll keep an eye on that. That's on the radar. I don't know if it's a purchase, but it's on the radar. Because the trailer didn't really. Headbangers
No,
Rhythm Royale, which, yeah, no, thank you.
no. I'm good.
Gloomhaven
Dude,
looked like,
Gloomhaven is a sweet tabletop game.
yeah, but it runs like shit. Like that trailer, it ran like ass.
Yeah, it's not a
So,
good trailer.
but again,
Not a good
Switch.
look.
Uh, I didn't notice we're doing Overcooked clones now. This Maniac Mechanics.
Everything popular gets a clone. Just how
Yeah,
it
and
works.
but like this was like ridiculous. Like some of the stuff, like some of the obstacles, like, oh, fix the car, but don't get abducted by a UFO. I'm like, huh? Well,
Yeah.
like at least Overcooked, like was not that it was a realistic game anywhere. Like some of the stuff was believable. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2. So
No.
yeah, the tone of the show, nothing earth shattering at all. But great games that you're going to be playing in 2023, and I really think that's what these showcases need to show me. Like, I think if E3 is dead, right? So E3 has been canceled for
Right.
2024 and 2025. If that stuff is dead, then now when you do these directs and showcases, you can't. I don't want to see anything. I really don't want to see anything unless it's coming out for the rest of 2023. Like, or the rest of that following year. Like, I struggle with these showcases that show me trailers with no gameplay, no tangible releases. Like it just doesn't do it for me.
The spirit of E3 lives on though with the Summer Games Fest showcase
Yeah,
thing.
that's fine. You can do Summer Games Fest and pop trailers in there. I'm with you, but if you're gonna do these like brand specific ones, like you got to then map out the rest of the year for me. Like, what am I playing in the fall? What am I like? You know, why am I going to continue to spend money? Because like I don't know, I just don't like it. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Not a fan of that.
Yeah, I mean, normally I just kind of ignore the directs, but this one had some cool announcements that I'm really excited for. Star Ocean being the number one.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the
I'm gonna
last
play
good
that on
Star Ocean
PS5.
game. So yeah, I mean, I'll play it on PS5 as well, or
Yeah,
my computer.
yeah, I don't know about Switch. I feel like that's probably not gonna run great on Switch.
Realistically, I'm probably gonna play it on my Steam Deck because I think that's a great old school RPG
Smart
machine.
move. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Now, did you look at any of the PC game showcases at all?
no,
Neither
I
did
don't
I.
care.
Same here.
Let's be honest. No one cares about the PC game showcase.
The only thing I saw was that there's that System Shock remake that got made.
Yeah, System Shock is one of those games, sort of like Star Wars Jedi Academy, where everyone's like, "Yo, that game is sweet," but you go back and you're like, "No, it's not. It's fine."
All right. Moving on to our favorite segment of the show, as we wind her down, as we start putting this puppy to bed, we get to our misconduct list.
Yep,
Number
it's
one,
time.
wow. Number one on the misconduct list, forever and always, Mr. Robert Sweely.
Yes.
Fun fact, I had a fun time with him in Philadelphia recently. We had a real good time. We attended a Shania Twain concert. So
I'm glad to see you and Berto hanging out.
yeah, we were feeling like women that day. Moving right along. Square Enix is on the list this week. So why is Square Enix on our misconduct list?
Yeah, because here's the thing. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of Square Enix with their nonsense shipping. Dude, if you order a collector's edition of a game from them, you're giving them extra money, right? Why are you the last person in line to get the game? I don't understand it. Hey, guys, ship your game out one day earlier. It's going to be okay. The people that are buying the collector's editions of the games aren't the ones leaking them. I promise you that. So,
yeah.
So for reference, like every time you order a collector's edition for a video game on the Square Enix store, and this has been consistent for a decade now, you get it significantly later. So like my collector's edition is showing up tomorrow in the mail. Now, is it a couple days later? Yeah, but it's still a bummer. You have the collector's edition, you see everyone else playing the game. It's a bummer, right?
Yeah, it hurts me.
But like my I'm trying to think. My Type 0 did this. My Lightning Returns Collector's Edition did this. And didn't your Final Fantasy 15 one do this?
And famously it came cracked.
Yeah.
And I ordered the Steelbook edition of Final Fantasy 16 and I'm not getting it until tomorrow.
Yeah.
So every time the Final Fantasy game comes out, I get a fucking L. So I feel like I just need to buy these physically.
I mean, you almost have to, but like for instance, this collector's edition was only available through their store.
Yeah.
That's annoying. Stop doing stuff like this because you can't fulfill the shipping promises.
Or just fire your shipping coordinator, hire a new guy.
Well, like it's a timing thing, right? Like it's, for instance, George's isn't coming until tomorrow as well. So it's not just like Central PA thing. So ship these games out 2 days earlier so that people get them on release day. That is what you should do.
Yeah.
They're too stupid. Square Enix is again run by a bunch of monkeys.
Run by chimps. Yeah, and it's one of these things like, so if we're gonna go to these, we're eliminating the brick and mortar stores, right? We don't want brick and mortar Mordor. Yeah, brick and mortar stores. We don't want these stores around because we feel like they're the middleman, and we want to cut out the middleman. We want to buy directly from the distributor, or whatever it is, right? Then you got to ensure I get shit day and date, and that's a problem for me. And I guess it's first world problems. Like, yeah, like I'm annoyed I didn't get Final Fantasy 16 tonight, like everyone else. Like, but like when I got home, I napped, woke up, watched the NBA draft, and now I'm here. So it's not like I was like fucking sitting there like I have nothing to do. But like it's still one of those things. Like, would I prefer to be playing Final Fantasy 16 like everyone else? Yeah, that's why I bought it.
I mean, my issue comes from the people that are paying the most amount for the game
and getting it last.
are the ones getting it last, and it shouldn't be like that.
No, if you pay a
These are your
premium dollar, you should get it.
yeah, these are your most hardcore, die-hard fans. The least Square could do, if they're not going to fix this issue, is like you said earlier tonight, give us a digital code as well. I think that's how all physical games should come. If you really want to cripple the brick and mortar stores,
Yeah.
that's how you do it. Just like the comic book shops did, or the comic book publishers did. They give you a digital code and start pushing the digital marketplace, because you have all these digital codes now. You can just start adding to your library, and now your comic book library is digital. Your books are worthless. So now that now you have this investment in this digital library, you're going to keep buying digital. I'm not for that. I don't like the idea of an all digital future, but also you got to do something about the shipping thing. It's super annoying. And also, I don't know. I don't resell my games, so
No. I can't tell you the last time I sold a game. I don't do that.
I don't know, probably the last time I was dirt broke trying to get money together for rent, which hasn't been for a long time.
Broke boy life.
Yeah.
All right. So next on the misconduct list, and this is for me, YouTube TV. Now, I have cut the cord of cable for years now, and I have been a loyal YouTube TV customer for probably about 3-4 years now. I like YouTube TV. I like being able to, if I'm somewhere and I'm either bored or waiting for something, it's nice to be able to grab my phone and tune in, watch some cable. Like, if there's a sporting event going on, or usually I just use it for sports. That's really about it.
Mhm.
Tonight was, and I know we're going to get a little into the weeds here, but bear with me. So tonight was the NBA draft. And, so I'm watching the draft, seeing if my team will make any moves or what's going to happen, because it was supposed to be like a really interesting draft. YouTube TV crashes.
What?
Yeah, it crashed. Like, YouTube TV
That's
was
annoying.
down for upwards of like 30 minutes. So unless you had ESPN Plus, like, and YouTube TV was your only means of watching the draft, you weren't watching. And this isn't the first time they've done this. This happened during the Super Bowl. It crashed. Which just certain things can't happen. Like, you cannot have your streaming service go down during big events. Like, that's not good. So at what point do we, like, and I say this all the time, at what point do we start holding companies accountable? Like, people literally pay, they're upping YouTube TV to $73 a month coming shortly.
And that's way too expensive for live TV.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, I only really have it for sports. Other than that, I don't really watch cable, which again, I should be able to get this shit a la carte. Like, I shouldn't have to subscribe to 9 other fucking things just to watch sports. Like, I shouldn't have to do that.
I mean, I don't know, dude. Like I think at some point sports fans have to look inward and be like, we allowed this to happen because we kept paying for it. Like the NFL ticket,
It's fucking
ridiculous price.
astronomically, dude. It's like $300 for the fucking. Like, are you kidding me?
But you know why it's that expensive? Because people paid for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I feel bad for sports fans because they really do get the short end of the stick on TV, because they almost like that's the whole thing. Like, you can't not watch. If you're a fan of the sports, you want to watch them live,
Right.
But there really should be some sort of mass protest and like all right, well,
bullshit. It's completely bullshit.
We're all going to cancel and go to Buffalo Wild Wings from now on.
Yeah,
right?
and here's the thing, because like with the way these networks are set up, there's like blackout rules. So like, I live in the greater Philadelphia area right now, right? So if I want to get Knicks games, I still don't get them because we're in the blackout market for the Knicks. Or even like even sometimes the Mets games get blacked out, or the Islander game gets blacked out. Like, I should be able to, if you're going to charge me these prices, I should be able to watch my team whenever the fuck I want, where I want to watch them. And I just feel like, for all this cutting the cord bullshit, right? Like, remember back in the days, cut the cord, get rid of cable. We just went to having cable again. Like, if you get YouTube TV, you get the $73 package, right? That's the base level package. And then if you want Red Zone, that's $20 a month. If you want Sunday Ticket, that's $300 a month, or not a month, for the season. And then if you want League Pass, that's $100 for the season or something like that. Like, all this shit starts adding up. And then if, like, with the NHL, if you want to watch NHL games through ESPN Plus, that's another couple $100 a season. Like you could have a cable bill almost like $600 plus. like, which is insanity to
That's
me.
not okay. You can't pay that. You just
No,
can't.
you're out of your mind. Like
Yeah.
bars pay that, like to have everything, like which makes sense.
Yeah.
But
So if there's an average person at home, you guys need to stop paying that because that's the only reason they charge that much because they know they can get it.
or think about it, sports fans got forced to get Amazon Prime. If you were not a Prime member and had Prime Video already, if you want to watch Thursday Night Football, it's only on Amazon Prime. You have to have Amazon Prime if you want to watch it. Like, that's how fucked up is that?
Yeah, that is fucked up. But you know who I really think the fault of that lies to is the NFL.
Yeah.
Like they're doing that. I mean, the networks are being like, "Oh yeah, we would love to have the NFL." And the NFL's like, "Well, here's our terms. Here's what you're gonna get." And guess what? Every fan is gonna buy that. So
Because
it's a guaranteed money thing.
yeah, America, we are football crazy. We love football.
Yeah, but I mean, like at a certain point, you have to be like, "Well, we're letting ourselves getting taken advantage of."
Yes,
You know?
agreed. And that's why I encourage go to Buffalo Wild Wings or stream it illegally.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, but they don't let yourself get taken advantage of. I used to watch every UFC card, you know, and I would buy the big ones, and it's like, well, they just up the price, and now I think it's like $80 to get the
Yeah,
UFC card because you have to have ESPN Plus, and then you
which
have to
yeah,
get
yep.
the UFC card after that. It's like,
Which usually now I go to Buffalo Wild Wings, but if it's like still like I was gonna suggest for my birthday we watch the UFC card, like that one I'll probably buy because it's a super fight.
yeah. I
But
mean, like if we're having all the guys together,
yeah, we're having
then
the boys.
then
Yeah,
I always try to buy it because that's the best way to get the quality. And, you want
yeah,
to have a good experience, but man, it's too expensive. I'm not paying $80 for a UFC card that might not be good.
yeah.
Because like let's be honest, a lot of the new UFC cards
Have been
are
bad. Have been
pretty bad.
bad. Yeah,
Bad.
yeah. They've been
Yeah.
like either bad, boring fights or like knockouts right away. All right. Last one I have on here, and this is only solely for the reason where we were visiting you and this happened, is Bethesda.
Oh my god, yeah.
So we were on your couch just shooting the shit,
Yes.
and you're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna download Fallout 4." Like, all right, yeah, download Fallout 4. So you download it, you get into the character creation screen, it freezes immediately.
Yeah. Like like the game's been out for what, 7 years or something like that. And the like we were just talking about like Bethesda glitches too, which is crazy. And I try to start a new story mode,
Yeah.
and I don't even get to select my nose. It just immediately freezes, and I'm like, okay, well, uninstalling this immediately. The most ridiculous story, dude. Like there
That
wasn't
was
even
like,
anything
yeah.
happening for the game to glitch. Like normally they
No,
glitch because the memory overloads, but like this, there was nothing happening. So
just immediately, yeah, buddy. No, glitched.
yeah. Oh, you thought
Uh,
you were gonna play a Bethesda game? No.
no, that was incredible. But yeah, that ties into the I was talking earlier in the show. Yeah, that Bethesda jank that just populates all their fucking games, and we're just like, oh, it's just Bethesda. That can't fly anymore. That cannot fly anymore. And like I said, I'm really concerned about Starfield.
Oh, I think it's gonna get ripped apart. I think it's
Yeah,
gonna be bad. We're gonna see a brutal killing in the street of Starfield, and maybe Todd Howard.
yeah, they may fucking tar and feather him. So, it's just fix your fucking games, Bethesda. Square, get your fucking shit together. How about you fucking get collector's editions to collectors on time, especially the
Yes.
people who pay the most money. Like, come on, we shouldn't have people paying hundreds of dollars and getting their shit last.
Yes.
And then lastly, YouTube, Google, fix your shit and fuck Jeff Bezos. Fuck him. It's been a good show, buddy. Is there anything in closing you want to get off your chest?
No, I committed a mass genocide this week.
Oh, Vance.
Yeah, I did.
Do tell
I
about the
because
ant genocide.
because I was having this thing where every once in a while I'd see an ant in my living room, and I was like, okay, well, it's probably not that big of a deal. I don't have wood walls; I have plaster walls. So, and I have a rock foundation. I have a very old house, so I'm like, it's not. They're not going to do much. They were carpenter ants,
Mm.
but they were just becoming a problem. And I put out the bait. The bait didn't really get them, and Caitlin found 200 on the couch last night. So I
Uh,
was like, all right, enough is enough. So I took the real heavy chemical stuff, and I went down to my basement and sprayed the perimeter of the ceiling in the basement, and then
Yep.
came up and sprayed the floor and the
Yes.
perimeter. And there's just dead ants everywhere now. They're just they're dying slowly everywhere, and it's satisfying to watch. I'm like, suffer, suffer.
So you executed Order 66.
Yeah, I was like, I tried playing nice and letting you fools, just kind of like leave on your own terms, but now it's game on. Get out of here.
I like it. I like it. Sometimes ants need to know they're not welcome in certain places. All right.
Ants are just I don't like ants, man. They're weird. They are too organized, and I feel like if they were larger,
They take
human
over.
beings wouldn't have ever taken over.
No. Ants would have fucked us up. I saw Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been a good show, buddy. I have an announcement to make. So our next show will be featuring one Mark Romanelli from Beers, Brews, and Barbecues.
Oh, that's fun.
And yeah, we're gonna have our first guest, WrestleMania, not WrestleMania, Alpha Nerds XX7, as in 27. We're gonna have him, and I'm really excited to have him on the show. He's a funny guy. I think those of you who do watch the show will get a kick out of him. So do us a favor, give him a follow on Facebook at Beards, Brews, and Barbecues. He does really cool reels there, really cool meat recipes if you want to check his shit out. That he has a smoker, and some of the recipes he does is great. He just recently did mystery soda tastings, which was, I thought, great. Yeah. And we're gonna talk some beers, as you know, we used to have a beer show, so we're gonna throw our chops out there a little bit.
All right. Yeah, I'm excited.
First guest. So stay tuned for that. Again, follow us on Facebook at Alpha Nerds. Follow us, or I say follow on YouTube. I don't know why. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, please, and thank you. Smash that like button, and you can find us on Twitter, Instagram. We're everywhere. We are Legion. And remember, folks, when in doubt, square up, throw down. See you later.
Take it easy.